Forget everything you think you know about wealth. Because the men you're about to see didn't chase money. Money answered to them. One of them could stand in front of your burning house, look you in the eyes, and decide if your life continued or ended in ash. Another didn't compete in business. He made competition disappear. And the final man on this list? He was so wealthy that economists still can't agree how rich he actually was. No internet, no modern technology, no safety nets, just timing, strategy, and decisions so precise they didn't just create wealth. They rewrote history. But here's what should unsettle you. None of them started as legends. They began with something small, something ordinary, something most people overlook every single day, and they turned it into power so overwhelming. Entire economies bent around them. So the real question isn't, who were they? It's this. What separates ordinary people from men like this? Because by the end of this video, you won't just see how they became rich. You'll see the exact moment they stopped being normal and became dangerous. And we're counting them down from calculated power to unimaginable wealth. 5. Crassus. Before we go further, understand this. If you lived in ancient Rome, you would have been one of his victims. Meet Marcus Licinius Crassus. In Rome, fire wasn't an accident. It was inevitable. Wooden buildings, crowded streets, no fire department. When flames started, you didn't fight them. You watched everything you owned disappear. Now imagine this. Your house is burning. Your family is screaming. Smoke is swallowing the street. And suddenly, help arrives. Relief. Until you notice something strange. They're not moving. No water. No urgency. They're just watching. Because they don't work for Rome. They work for Crassus. Then he steps forward. Come. Unbothered. And gives you a choice. Sell me your property. Right now. For almost nothing. He turns around. And lets everything burn. That's not cruelty. That's leverage. Street by street. Fire by fire. Crisis by crisis. He bought Rome. At its weakest moments. When the flames died out, he owned massive parts of the city. Not because he built anything, but because when people lost everything, he was the only one ready to decide. That's the moment he became dangerous. Because he understood a truth. Most people never will. Wealth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from chaos. And in moments like that, the person who makes the decision owns everything. Crassus controlled moments. The next man? He controlled rulers. 4. Jacob Fugger. He never wore a crown. Never led an army. And yet, he decided who did. Meet Jacob Fugger. He started small. A merchant family. Cloth. Spices. For most people, that's success. For Fugger, that was the warm-up. Because he noticed something others ignored. Selling goods makes money. Controlling money controls people. So he shifted. From trade to financing power. Not small loans. War-level funding. Empire-level capital. Kings didn't partner with him. They depended on him. And dependence creates leverage. When rulers couldn't repay, Fugger didn't panic. He collected differently. Land, mining rights, political influence. At that point, debt wasn't financial anymore. It was political. Silver, copper, entire supply chains, from Spain to the Holy Roman Empire, moved through him. Then he made a move most people wouldn't even imagine. He financed the election of an emperor. No army, no crown, no throne. He paid for the outcome of power. That's not influence. That's control without visibility. That's the moment he became dangerous. Because Fugger proved a brutal truth. You don't need to sit on the throne if you decide who gets to. Up to this point, every man used crisis or kings. This one used something far more dangerous. The future itself. 3. Andrew Carnegie. Everything you've seen so far was fragile. One collapse away from disappearing. This man built something different. Meet Andrew Carnegie. If you met him early, you wouldn't see power. You'd see a poor immigrant child trying to survive. But when he arrived in America, he noticed something others missed. The future wasn't gold. It was steel. While others hesitated, he moved. Telegraphs, railroads, strategic investments. He studied the system. then positioned himself inside it. Then everything changed. He didn't diversify. He didn't hedge. He went all in. Steal. And once committed, he didn't grow slowly. He dominated. Cut costs ruthlessly. Outproduced rivals. Scaled faster than anyone. His company didn't compete. It consumed. Soon, America itself depended on his steel. Railways, bridges, cities. But dominance has a cost. And workers paid it. Exhaustion. Violence. Lives treated as replaceable. This wasn't gentle progress. It was engineered power. That's the moment he became dangerous. Then, something unexpected. At his peak, he walked away. Sold everything. In one of the largest deals in history. And gave most of it away. Libraries, schools, institutions. Carnegie revealed something rare. Wealth can destroy lives. Or rebuild them. The difference is who controls it. Carnegie built the backbone. The next man? He controlled the blood flow. 2. John D. Rockefeller. Before him, oil was chaos. After him, it was controlled. Meet John D. Rockefeller. No powerful family. No inheritance. Just discipline. And an obsession with efficiency. While everyone rushed to drill oil, he focused on refining it. Distribution. Transportation. Every invisible step. That's where the power was. So he built Standard Oil. Then he did something no one had done before. He didn't compete. He eliminated. If you were his rival, you had 3 options. Sell to him, get undercut, or disappear. Prices dropped. Competitors collapsed. One by one, they vanished. Until only one name remained. And here's the uncomfortable part. If you lived then, would you have fought him? Or sold? At his peak, he didn't dominate the industry. He was the industry. Nearly 90%. Under his control. That's the moment he became dangerous. Because he didn't win the game. He designed it. When regulators broke his empire apart, people thought he lost. He didn't. His wealth multiplied. Because even divided, his system still controlled everything. Rockefeller proved the ultimate rule. Don't just play the game. Design it. And yet, even controlling an entire industry is small compared to what comes next. 1. Mansa Musa. He was so wealthy. His generosity broke economies. Meet Mansa Musa. He inherited gold. But inheritance doesn't create legends. Vision does. Musa expanded trade routes across Africa. Gold flowed. Influence followed. At his peak, he controlled a staggering portion of the world's gold supply. Then came the moment that made him eternal. His journey to Mecca. Thousands of soldiers. Hundreds of attendants. Camels loaded with gold. And everywhere he went he gave too much. Gold flooded markets. Prices collapsed. Entire regions destabilized. Not through conquest. Through generosity. That's the moment he became dangerous. Because one man released so much wealth. He bent economies by accident. He later invested in cities like Timbuktu, turning them into centers of learning and global trade. Musa revealed the final truth. At extreme levels, wealth stops being personal. It becomes global. And even good intentions can reshape the world. Here's the truth most people avoid. The greatest fortunes in history weren't built by working harder. They were built by seeing what others ignored and acting while everyone else hesitated. That pattern still exists. Right now, opportunities don't arrive looking safe. They arrive as chaos, as uncertainty, as moments most people run from. So ask yourself, if that moment appeared in your life, would you recognize it? Or would you freeze and watch someone else take it? Because the world isn't controlled by the smartest people. It's controlled by the ones who move first. New empires are forming quietly, and most people will never see them. If this changed how you think, subscribe to this channel. Because here, we don't just tell history, we reveal how power actually works.